Good afternoon. Please be seated. I'm Courtney Karzinski, Chair of the University Academic Senate and Professor of Communication Sciences and Disorders. Provost Drake, the participants are all assembled. Let our Faculty Awards Convocation begin. At a significant university event like today's, we have an opportunity to offer appreciation to those who were stewards of the land on which our beautiful campus was built, long before most of our ancestors arrived. As an institution committed to diversity, inclusion, and equity, Grand Valley recognizes the Three Fires people: the Ottawa, the Ojibwa, and the Potawatomi, on whose ancestral lands we now live and work. It is now my pleasure to introduce Provost and Executive Vice President, Dr. Jennifer Drake.
Thank you, Dr. Krasinski, for opening our ceremony, and welcome to our 19th annual Faculty Awards Convocation. I'm so glad that each of you are here this afternoon, faculty, staff, friends, and family. I'd like to acknowledge our colleagues that are here today, members of the senior leadership team, our deans, and members of the Provost Cabinet. I'm also pleased to extend a warm welcome to our special guests, Marcia Haas, Betty Niemeyer, and her son, Sander Niemeyer. Thank you for your enduring dedication to Grand Valley and for being part of this celebration. If we could just give a round of applause. Today, we gather to celebrate the individual accomplishments of our faculty colleagues, and we do so in the heart of winter, although it feels kind of balmy today, doesn't it? It feels like warm. This season has once again reminded us of its full Michigan force with blustery winds, frigid temperatures, and ice-covered roads, the kind of weather that asks us to be both adaptable and careful, and to find gratitude as we receive the gifts of winter sun and gorgeous snowy landscapes. I want to pause to thank our faculty and staff for their flexibility as we navigated multiple shifts to remote work days just a few short weeks ago. I know these changes are not easy, and I appreciate the care that you brought to keeping our learning community safe moving forward. Even in winter, we find warmth and community, in shared purpose, and in the intellectual life that animates our university. We begin and end today with music, a joyful reminder of what it means to gather together. As I look around this room, I see decades-long histories of animated conversation, quiet collaboration, and thoughtful debate. I see mentorship that unfolds over time, collegiality that sustains us, and the beautiful everyday moments, hallway conversations, office door check-ins, chance encounters that shape our shared work. This is what makes Grand Valley special. We are a community of educators and scholars deeply committed to our students, to our disciplines, and to one another. Together, we share our life's work of learning, discovery, and service. In a season when truth, knowledge, expertise, and the value of higher education itself is being questioned, we stand together. We embrace the both and, honoring tradition while pursuing innovation, holding rigor alongside empathy, and pairing scholarship with action. We model curiosity, openness, and intellectual courage for our students and our communities. As many of you know, just yesterday we shared the Academic Affairs Strategic Framework and 2026 Action Plan. That framework and plan are grounded in our collective strengths and our shared aspirations. Our vision for academic affairs is simple and powerful. Lead with intention, collaborate with purpose, create a lasting impact for generations to come. That vision is alive in the work we honor today. So as we recognize our colleagues for their well-earned accomplishments, we celebrate the collective impact of our faculty. Your work matters. It always has, and it always will. Let me clap. President Mantella usually joins us to celebrate with our faculty. She's out of town and unable to be here today, but she's recorded a brief video message that we're pleased to share with you, and someone else is running the tech on this.
Thank you all for joining us here today. Today, we honor and celebrate the incredible impact of Grand Valley's faculty, the impact you have on learners. You empower our students with curiosity, provide meaningful educational experiences, and provide mentorship and guidance at every age and stage, including some of the most formative years. We have learners from all types of backgrounds, and your ability to meet students where they are and bring them to where they need to be in the classroom is a testament to your adaptability, creativity, and passion for teaching. As teacher scholars, you forge new territory through discovery, innovation, and research. Today's celebration honors faculty from all levels, from adjunct to tenured and everywhere in between. All of today's honorees embody Grand Valley's commitment to our students and to our community. Congratulations to all of today's honorees, and thank you for your commitment to our learners.
So let's move to the presentation of our awards. First is the group receiving the CSCE Awards for Scholarly and Creative Excellence. I'd like to ask Dr. Ryan Otter, Interim Vice Provost for Research and Innovation, to the podium to introduce our awardees. At this time, I ask the CSCE honorees to please join us on stage. As they make their way to the stage, I'd like to take a moment to thank Ryan, where did he go, for his leadership in supporting scholarship, research, and creative activity at the university. Thank you so much, Dr. Otter.
I think you're going that way. It is my honor and privilege to present awards on behalf of research and mentorship. The first recipient will be Dr. Tricia Thomas, professor in the Kirchhoff's College of Nursing, for the Distinguished Graduate Mentoring Award. Tricia is an innovative scholar and educator whose dedication to mentoring has shaped the careers of dozens of doctoral and master's level nursing students. Her guidance emphasizes critical thinking, problem solving, self-reflection, and the development of professional confidence. Tricia has championed her students' scholarly work by including former students as contributors in 4 textbooks. Internationally, she has played an important role in supporting other leaders and faculty through her long-standing partnership with the Japanese Red Cross and other Japanese universities. Her contributions have been instrumental in promoting the clinical nurse leader role, guiding curriculum development, and supporting successful national board certification efforts. The impact of her mentorship is evident in the accomplishments of her mentees, who have had meaningful contributions across the entire nursing profession. Tricia's enduring commitment to mentorship continues to inspire and elevate the next generation of nurse leaders. Dr. Andrew Lance, Associate Professor in Chemistry, is the recipient of the Distinguished Undergraduate Mentoring Award. Andrew is an exemplary scholar and educator whose dedication to undergraduate mentorship has shaped the academic and professional trajectory of a significant number of students. Since joining Grand Valley in 2007, Andrew has mentored over 30 undergraduate researchers, guiding them through high-impact projects that emphasize both scientific rigor and personal growth. His approach of guided independence helps build student confidence through emphasizing ownership of their research. Under his mentorship, students have co-authored publications, presented at conferences, and successfully transitioned to the next chapters of their lives. Andrew's sustained commitment to undergraduate scholarship exemplifies Grand Valley's mission to empower learners and enrich society. Dr. Krista Benson, Associate Professor in the School of Interdisciplinary Studies, is another recipient of the Distinguished Undergraduate Mentoring Award. Krista is an innovative scholar and educator whose commitment to undergraduate mentorship has shaped students' learning and success. Since joining GVSU in 2019, Krista has mentored students across honors projects, McNair Scholars, IRB-approved research, and interdisciplinary capstones, using a kitchen table approach that invites students to see themselves as knowledge producers. Krista's mentorship style is centered on accessibility, compassion, and intellectual rigor, with special attention to first-gen, LGBTQ+, and neurodivergent students. Under Krista's guidance, students have co-authored book chapters, presented nationally, and pursued advanced degrees. Krista's work exemplifies Grand Valley's commitment to inclusive excellence and transformative undergraduate education. Dr. Sarah Sutton, Assistant Professor in the Department of Information Sciences and Technologies, is the recipient of our Distinguished Early Career Scholar Award. Sarah is a creative, energetic scholar in cybersecurity and research education. Since joining Grand Valley in 2022, Sarah has published 3 peer-reviewed articles in prestigious journals and is the principal investigator in several externally funded projects, including the Gen Cyber Teachers Program, which is co-sponsored by the National Science Foundation and the National Security Agency. Sarah actively involves undergraduates and graduate students in her work and is a leading mentor in the Women in Cybersecurity program. Sarah's innovative and rigorous scholarly work demonstrates her leadership in this emerging and rapidly evolving field. Our last award is also for his Distinguished Early Career Scholar Award to Dr. Ian Winkelstern, Assistant Professor in Geology. Ian has built a student-centered research program advancing innovative approaches to carbonate biochemistry and the study of fundamental Earth processes. Since 2023, he has published 7 peer-reviewed articles, delivered dozens of conference presentations, many with student co-authors. Ian has established regional collaborations with research institutions and secured major external support, specifically a major research instrumentation grant from the National Science Foundation that established GVSU's new water isotope laboratory. Through sustained mentorship, cross-institutional partnerships, and high-impact research, Ian has elevated GVSU's profile and has positioned himself for continued success.
As part of our convocation tradition, we invite a faculty member to share their perspective on an important aspect of higher education. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Adrienne Wallace, Associate Professor of Communications, to present our convocation address. Adrienne is an enthusiastic communicator with over 25 years of professional experience in both the public and private sectors, spanning nonprofit, health, education, government, hospitality, politics, lobbying, and finance. Her research often focuses on the intersection of public relations with digital media, public relations pedagogy, and public affairs. She has co-authored multiple award-winning books and has been recognized both on campus and in the community for her commitment to professional development and her students. Later in the program, we will have the opportunity to celebrate her contributions further as she was selected as the 2025 recipient of the Michigan Association of State Universities Professor of the Year Award. So she is the best professor in the state of Michigan. We are really excited that she's ours. Please join me in welcoming Professor Adrienne Wallace as she presents Building Sandcastles. Could you say the title?
I had to put down my emotional support chapstick. No pressure on that intro, thanks, Provost Drake. Good afternoon, gorgeous faculty, community members. Thanks for joining us today. The sun came out and I will hold you all responsible, so keep up the good work. This celebration of an exceptional work arrives at when we might, using our public relations chops, generously call a peculiar moment for higher education. We're navigating budget pressures, mounting student debt, political headwinds, and existential questions about the value of our work. Many of us feel this tension acutely, being asked to do more with less, to justify disciplines and pedagogies that take years to show results, to operate in an environment that can feel hostile to what we hold most dear, and to sometimes lend credibility to ridiculous and inhumane public policy in a democracy. Some days it feels like we're building sandcastles during a hurricane, just going about our days as if it were business as usual while the storm builds in the distance. My group chats with research partners across the country and on our own college campus often bring me to tears, and sometimes not in a good way. Texas lawmakers are erasing diversity from the curriculum. Oklahoma is soon to release tenure from the menu. And Florida, I think that list, as we know, is far too long for this podium at this time. And yet, I've never been more convinced that this work is absolutely essential. not because it's easy or popular, but because it's hard and it's necessary. The work matters precisely because the world is complicated. I tell my students that my Slack inbox is always open, but they should know that when they message me at 2 a.m. to clarify the difference between a strategy and a tactic, I'll likely respond immediately to help them carry on. Thanks, perimenopause. I appreciate that. I didn't really need the sleep anyway. Don't threaten me with a good time. It's not, yes, women, I see you. It's not because I'm a masochist, at least that's what my therapist says, but because that's often when I'm also working just like they are, putting in the time. In this small moment or series of moments, they learn that expertise isn't just about having all the answers all the time. It's sometimes just about being present in the messy middle with them, gutting it out alongside them. I know many of you work similarly, answering emails at odd hours, not because the institution demands it, but because you care about clarity, responsiveness, and precision in your students' understanding. That commitment, showing up in the messy middle, is what distinguishes teaching as a discipline from teaching as merely a job. This is the kind of learning environment we're trying to architect, where lack of knowledge or even failure isn't punished but examined, where students discover on their own problem-solving capacity under pressure and often on deadline, where they fail forward and live to tell the tale. It requires us to resist the urge to rescue students too quickly and to trust the process, to pause on the precipice of disaster or maybe even victory, even when it's frankly kind of uncomfortable to do so. We honor their growth by sitting with them in that raw, relevant space that grows and takes hold, and the light appears in the darkness. That trust in pedagogy, in that student, and in the learning process itself is what this gathering celebrates. I'm just coming off of a 24-hour commitment that's called Create-a-thon through Grand PR, our student-run firm. We had 24 hours to build campaigns for 3 local nonprofits, and yes, I did make it all 24 hours. I was the only one. It's like the worst hangover I've ever had. We really went through it this year. There was a utility pole that fell after dinner, creating space for conversation on communication proactivity and when emergencies occur, which is never at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday, but usually 7 p.m. or later on a Friday. We monitored Yik Yak, which showed us a proper panic at around midnight or so with armed police walking through Mackinac, as you probably have read in the Lanthorn, with what turned out to be a person with a fake axe walking casually through campus at midnight. This opened up space to talk about ethical issues of public relations, timely warnings, and why one was or was not issued. It was a good discussion to have in the face of something real. One team realized that their entire focus of their campaign was based on something that was actually a flawed assumption about an audience. And so at hour 10 left, minus 10 we should say, they had to rebuild, which opened up the conversation about proper research needs and real conversations with scary adults. That's what they think clients are right now. And even asking the right questions, not just the easy ones, in order to better problem solve. I watched students argue and resolve issues, shed tears of joy and pain, laugh until it hurt, recharge on cold pizza, ring pops, and fruit by the foot. I know. They sprinted around the building in search of Red Bull and chocolate, and then they used their networks to help each other and then refocus to persevere and make their clients cry in the best way possible. That's not danger or even toxic positivity. That's what happens when you create space for productive, struggle, and train for hard times during the not so hard times. The results often speak for themselves. Resilience was built in Lake Ontario Hall this weekend, make no mistakes about it. You see, being present with them in that messy middle means showing up sometimes for more hours than you want to, for the good, the bad, and the ultra-complicated. This doesn't mean that I'm there to give the answers as if I'm Google or AI, or that I'm an easy grader, that I'm universally beloved, or fun, or cool. Certainly nobody's ever accused me of the latter of those. It means that I see them and I remember which student is caring for a young sibling while taking a full class load because their mom or dad works third shift. I know what student is having a hard time with their coping skills for anxiety and that they just attended their first group therapy session, and we celebrate that. I support what student is nursing a sick parent or grandparent while working full-time and going to school full-time. And how could I ever forget which one is working 3 jobs, not for her shopping habit or her seasonal manicures, but rather to help the family budget after a parent lost their income. It means I recognize that competence and confidence are not always connected, and I stay with that student long enough to see the young professional emerge just beyond the surface where the fear waits. It means knowing when to say, this isn't your best draft. I think we can make this better. We can improve this. And it also means that I keep a drawer of snacks and coffee pods and a list of campus resources like many of you do, and also a healthy supply of the audacity to say hard things with kindness. Many of you live in this same calculus. Rigor and care are not opposing forces. They're interdependent of our work. Knowing your students well enough to calibrate challenge, encouragement, and when to push or pull back, this is not coddling, this is craftsmanship, the difference between good and exceptional teaching. What makes this possible is GV's particular alchemy. This university doesn't tolerate the messy human work of teaching, but rather it requires it. Admittedly, this is messy work, wrought with wicked problems, and it feels like building sandcastles during a hurricane. You know this too. GVSU's commitment to undergraduate education means we have colleagues who value teaching as much as research, who serve on committees that support pedagogical advancement, who are not afraid to call foul on an all-in to AI trajectory, and remind us that digital literacy must come before trend chasing. And those same colleagues that you might spar with in a meeting will cover your class and also your rear end, because I just saw there were children in the room. And if, let's say, your mother dies in the first month of the semester and you really need some extra care, that also sometimes happens, and you need your colleagues to back you up. So thank you, Imran. The institutional ecosystem I described is uncommon. We need to name it and protect it fiercely. I can't promise you that the challenges ahead will resolve neatly. I won't tell you to just stay positive while we juggle our own mental health issues, the crises of other people's kids, funding cuts, mounting debt, job market uncertainty, and let's be honest, a country that's in chaos and a planet that's on fire. Perhaps we actually are building sandcastles during a hurricane. It seems more and more like that every day. But here's what I can offer. The skills we build in the messy middle with our students, translating complex problems into clear messages, building coalitions across differences, persisting when others have failed, are exactly what the world needs from a resilient generation being built by the people in this room. You've probably noticed by now that I'm not a glass half full person. I've weaponized my own ADHD and anxiety to help clients navigate messy crises for about 30 years, and so I'm not talking about blind optimacy here. This is strategic hope. As faculty, we model this for our students. That intellectual rigor and hope are not mutually exclusive, that you can critique systems while working within them to change them, that you can acknowledge real constraints without letting them become excuses for complacency. That is the education this moment demands for our future leaders. And my fellow faculty, I don't think we're sinking. We're evolving. We might even be rising. It's just hard to tell at this depth. So to my kindred spirit faculty, keep your doors open, your standards high. Keep building learning environments that ask hard things of students because you believe that they can meet the challenge. Keep in mind why you chose this work, even on days when the institution, culture, the world, or your own exhaustion makes you question it. To my fellow awardees, congratulations. Your work, energy, and drive represents exactly what is necessary and what we should be celebrating at this time. The integration of rigorous scholarship, transformative teaching, and a genuine commitment to our students' growth as good people, good humans, not just potential folks in the jobs that we're going to put them in, right? And so finally, because by now you've probably wondered what this Ted Lasso talk is really all about, you probably thought it would never end. Nobody ever lets me get behind a mic. I'm always writing the speeches for other people. But let's keep building those sandcastles, and not because we're naive about present and future challenges, but because we're committed to the possibility that education, rigorous, demanding, human-centered education is beautiful and still matters. And not because we don't see the hurricane coming, but because the act of building together teaches us how to weather it together. Thank you for being part of my community. I'm forever grateful.
That was beautiful. Strategic hope. You're speaking my language. Thank you. So now it's my pleasure to present the Pew Awards for Excellence. I invite Dr. Christine Renner, Vice Provost for Instructional Development and Innovation and Director of the Pew Faculty Teaching and Learning Center, to introduce our awardees. Christine continues to provide outstanding leadership, guiding the center in new and exciting directions. I want to thank her for her dedication and invaluable contributions. And at this time, I invite the Pew honorees to join us on the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a delight to be here and to help honor these amazing faculty today and to be simply in your presence today. So our first award, the Birch Jacobs and Moore Diversity Teaching Award, is now awarded in 2 categories. Category 1, teaching in a discipline that addresses inclusion and diversity, and Category 2, teaching in a discipline that does not traditionally address inclusion and diversity. In the first category, teaching in a discipline that traditionally addresses diversity and inclusion, this year's winner is Jay Knight, assistant professor in the Kirchhoff College of Nursing. Jay is a leader in intentionally designing courses that highlight diverse voices and making space for student belonging. In addition to professional service across the university as part of the Activation and Accountability Leadership Team with the Division of People, Equity, and Culture. Congratulations, Jay. Let us next congratulate the winner of Category 2, teaching in a discipline that does not traditionally address inclusion and diversity, Megan Wohler-Skar, professor of biology. Megan is being recognized for bringing diversity and inclusion into the biology curriculum with topics such as racism and the conservation movement and indigenous ways of knowing and doing science. Even co-authoring her pedagogical insights on teaching indigenous science in the Multidisciplinary Journal of Great Lakes Research. Congratulations, Megan. You are Thank you. Next, we have the Pew Teaching Excellence Award for Adjunct Faculty, which was established to recognize distinguished adjunct instructors from around the university. This year's winner is Brandy Schmidt, adjunct faculty in the Kirchhoff College of Nursing. Brandy creates a welcoming environment for students wherein they develop the critical thinking skills necessary to work with patients, making a clear connection between learning theory and practice. Congratulations, Brandy. Next, we have the Pew Teaching with Technology Award, which was established to recognize faculty who use technology in innovative ways. This year's winner is Imran Mazid, Associate Professor in the School of Communications. Imran's innovations include their AI Toolkit, a browser-based platform that scaffolds students' engagement with AI in critical and accessible ways, and the creation of a social media and analytics badge. Imran's approach to teaching with technology is rooted in demystifying technology, developing professional proficiency, and cultivating responsible and ethical practice. Congratulations, Imran. The Pew Teaching Excellence Awards offer GVSU faculty an opportunity to celebrate the work of their peers as teachers who inspire our students across the disciplines. Amanda Boudet is the first winner of the Pew Excellence Teaching Award. Amanda is an associate professor of sociology and is being celebrated for their teaching excellence in creating open access course materials, collaborating with students in undergraduate research, and providing continued mentorship, to name just a few accomplishments. Congratulations, Amanda. Congratulations next to Brian Deo, Associate Professor of English, and our second winner of the Pew Excellence Teaching Award. Brian's interdisciplinary approach draws on pressing social and environmental issues to stimulate students' intellectual curiosity, critical thinking, and creative practice. Congratulations, Brian. My pleasure. We have some more award winners still. Okay. Yes, okay. Our next winner of the Pew Excellence Teaching Award is a longstanding member of the Grand Valley community, Shirley Fleischman, Professor of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. Shirley is highly regarded by students and colleagues alike for her commitments to student success. Notably, Shirley helps students see how they can use their engineering knowledge to make positive contributions to society. Congratulations, Shirley. I knew we had more award winners. Okay, shoo, here they come. Like, where's everyone? Okay, beautiful. Wonderful. Our fourth winner of the Pew Excellence Award for Teaching is Nicole Harpold, Assistant Professor in the Kirchhoff College of Nursing. In leveraging her own clinical experience, Nicole takes a reflective and curiosity-driven approach to teach students to be compassionate healthcare professionals. Congratulations, Nicole. The fifth winner of the Pew Excellence Teaching Award is Dawn Rutecki, Associate Professor in the School of Interdisciplinary Studies. Transformative and life-changing are just a few words nominators use to describe Dawn's pedagogical impact at Grand Valley. Her impact on student learning is made clear through their approach to meet students where they are, while at the same time challenging them to engage with difficult ideas and to also become agents of change themselves. Congratulations, Dawn. Good work. Congratulations are due to our next winner of the Pew Teaching Excellence Award, Lindsay Stutzel, Assistant Professor of Literacy, Educational Foundations, and Technology. Lindsay is committed to student success, ensuring they receive hands-on literacy experiences to prepare them for futures in education in many ways, such as through course redesigns, self-study, and student collaboration. Congratulations, Lindsay. Our final winner of the Pew Excellence Teaching Award goes to Associate Professor of Chemistry, Scott Thorgart. Whether they're teaching introductory level or upper level chemistry courses, Scott makes collaboration, student engagement, and accessible courses a priority, course content a priority. Of particular note are the redeveloped mini labs, which expose students to both theory and practice. Congratulations, Scott. Last but not least, the Pew Excellence Award for Teaching and Learning Enrichment recognizes faculty who contribute to the Grand Valley teaching community beyond classroom instruction. This year's winner is Kelly Riley, Assistant Professor in the Kirchhoff College of Nursing. Kelly thinks outside the box to provide their students with transdisciplinary simulation tools, collaborative learning guides, and equitable support, all while aligning with department, college, and university goals. Congratulations, Kelly.
It's now my pleasure to move on to our next group of awards, the University Awards for Excellence. I'd like to ask Dr. Edward Abufadel, Senior Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, to the podium to assist in the introduction of our awardees.
Thank you, Provost Drake. Would the faculty please come up to the stage? It's a pleasure to be with you today and to assist in introducing our award winners. Faculty, as you are introduced, please join Provost Drake at center stage. First, we will recognize Dr. Janelle Pettis-Gikema, Professor of Modern Languages and Literatures, as this year's recipient of the GVSU's Internationalization Award. For more than 2 decades, Janelle has strengthened GVSU's global commitment through inspired teaching, visionary leadership, and deep commitment to students. She has directed the France faculty-led program 7 times, creating transformative international experiences that expand students' worldviews and confidence. As former chair of modern languages and literatures, she championed multilingualism, built global partnerships and badges, and advanced the seal of biliteracy pathway. Through virtual exchanges and global journalism projects, she connects students with the wider world in meaningful, lasting ways. Congratulations, Janelle. The university's Outstanding Academic Advising and Student Services Award is presented to Dr. Jennifer Duvard, Assistant Professor of Teaching and Learning. Colleagues praised Jennifer's ability to balance empathy with accountability and her advising philosophy, which is rooted in care, consistency, and connection. Students say Jennifer has equipped them with the resources, strategies, and the confidence they need, not only to be successful as a first-year teacher, but to truly stand out among their peers. Jennifer encourages her students to continuously advocate for their students and their needs, just as she does for them. Please join me in congratulating Jennifer on her remarkable contributions to our community. Next, we are pleased to present the Thomas J. and Marcia J. Haas and Les and Jackie Ott Steiner Early Career Award for Undergraduate Mentorship. This award honors a faculty member who embodies the transformative power of undergraduate research and mentorship. What makes this award unique is that the faculty are nominated by their students, underscoring the profound impact they have on those they teach and guide. We're pleased to have Marcia Haas with us today this evening to share this special moment. I think she's... Hi, Marcia. The recipient of this award is Dr. Matthew Cooper, Associate Professor of Biology. Matthew is deeply committed to helping students grow into confident, independent scientists by providing meaningful undergraduate research experiences in both ecology and Great Lakes research. He fosters a collaborative and supportive research community through regular lab meetings, social events, peer mentoring, and sustained engagement with alumni. Matthew exemplifies the teacher-scholar model at GVSU. He guides without demanding, leads without controlling, and questions without condemning. His mentoring leads to a growth by experience mindset, where students can develop their own ideas and thought processes, allowing the growth they need to become future independent researchers. Congratulations, Matthew. Yeah. Hold on a second. Dr. Kathleen Bailey, Professor of Criminology, Criminal Justice, and Legal Studies, is this year's recipient of the Outstanding Community Service Award. Kathleen has contributed 4 decades of dedicated service to youth mentorship and improving the juvenile justice system. She created the state's only juvenile justice minor, founded the PALS mentoring program, co-founded Juvenile Justice Vision 2020, and was appointed by former Governor Rick Snyder to serve on the Michigan Committee on Juvenile Justice. In addition, Kathleen serves the needs of GVSU students by providing practical opportunities for internships and mentoring, and by bringing firsthand knowledge and insights into the classroom, creating a long-lasting impact for GVSU in West Michigan. Congratulations, Kathleen. Yes. The Outstanding University Service Award is presented to Dr. Corinne Rayburn, Associate Professor of Educational Leadership and Counseling. Corinne's commitment and contributions to university service are best described by her colleagues, who note she serves in ways that not only reflect wisdom and expertise, but also thoughtfulness, grace, and collegiality. Corinne's impressive list of contributions to our university includes serving on the University Academic Senate, the Executive Committee of the Senate, Chair of the Title IX External Investigations Task Force, Chair of the Equity and Personnel Processes Task Force, and Chair of the College of Education and Community Innovation Faculty Development Committee, to name a few. She's also my partner in crime for Unit Head Professional Development this year. Corinne is praised by her peers for facilitating and strengthening the university's mission and embodying the spirit of collaborative leadership in all that she does. Congratulations, Corinne. Yes, you're welcome. Dr. Catherine Moran is this year's recipient of the Distinguished Contribution in a Discipline Award. Catherine, Associate Dean for the Kirchhoff College of Nursing, is a transformative scholar of doctoral nursing education with more than 50 refereed publications and dozens of conference presentations. Her textbook, The Doctor of Nursing Practice Project, A Framework for Success, is a cornerstone of 192 Doctor of Nursing practice programs nationwide. Since joining Grand Valley's Kirchhoff College of Nursing in 2018, Catherine has established innovative academic practice partnerships with regional health organizations, leading to $7.6 million in federal grants supporting graduate education for nurses in rural, underserved communities. Peers, colleagues, and community partners praise Kathleen's ongoing contributions to nursing practice and education as she leads the profession to consider the embrace of new perspectives while envisioning the future of nursing. Congratulations, Kathleen. They're already up here. So I would now like to invite our final group of award recipients to join us on stage. Our final awards this afternoon are the Glenn A. Niemeyer Outstanding Faculty Awards. The Niemeyer Award is the most prestigious academic award presented by the university and is named for Dr. Glenn Niemeyer, the institution's first provost. He was a pioneer faculty member and then served as the institution's first provost from 1980 until his retirement in 2001. We're honored to have his wife Betty and son Sander with us today. Faculty selected for this award are recognized for their excellence, enthusiasm, and dedication to teaching, scholarship, and service. They take a student-centered approach to teaching, consistently enhancing their classroom practices to inspire a love of learning in their students. Through their scholarly activities, they create new knowledge and explore its applications. Additionally, these faculty members contribute their expertise through service to the university, professional organizations, or the community. This year, we are proud to honor 3 Niemeyer Award recipients. Our first recipient is Dr. Teresa Bacon-Bagley, Professor of Physician Assistant Studies. Teresa exemplifies the Glenn A. Niemeyer Award through her dedication to student success, rigorous scholarship, and university service. A transformative educator, she fosters academic rigor, clinical relevance, and inclusive engagement. Her scholarship demonstrates intellectual breadth and translational impact, with over 25 peer-reviewed publications and more than $3.5 million in federally funded research. A devoted mentor to students and faculty, Teresa's passion for education, impactful research, and selfless service to GVSU and the broader community distinguish her as an inspiring academic leader. Congratulations, Teresa. Our next Niemeyer Award winner is Dr. Shabir Chowdhury, Professor of Engineering. Shabir's impact reaches far beyond the classroom. He embodies the very best of what it means to be an educator, mentor, scholar, and leader. Through innovative project-based teaching, he has empowered students to tackle real-world challenges with confidence and creativity. Through visionary service, he has transformed graduate education, built meaningful partnerships with industry, and created programs that inspire future engineers. And through his research and collaborative spirit, he has opened doors of opportunity for students and colleagues alike. Shabir's dedication, compassion, and lasting contributions exemplify excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service, making him a truly deserving honoree this evening. Congratulations, Shabir. Our final Niemeyer Award recipient is Dr. David Leonard, Professor of Chemistry, whose career reflects the true spirit of the Niemeyer Award. Since joining GVSU in 1998, David has transformed biochemistry education through innovation curriculum design, mentored more than 50 undergraduate researchers, and built a nationally respected research program on antibiotic resistance enzymes. His dedication to student success, his leadership within the chemistry department, and his sustained record of scholarly achievement have made a profound impact on our university community. Please join me in congratulating David. Returning to the stage, this afternoon we are pleased to recognize Dr. Adrian Wallace, Associate Professor of Communications, who was named Michigan Distinguished Professor of the Year in April 2025. Presented by the Michigan Association of State Universities, this award honors exceptional contributions to undergraduate education across Michigan's public universities, and Adrian embodies that distinction. Since joining Grand Valley in 2016, Adrian has made a lasting impact on undergraduate students through her teaching, advising, and mentorship. She is deeply committed to students' academic, professional, and personal growth, advising multiple student organizations, and building meaningful community partnerships. Her dedication to individualized and experiential learning is especially notable. As advisor to Grand PR, our student-powered public relations firm, and through initiatives such as her annual nonprofit Create-a-thon, Adrian provides students with authentic, real-world learning experiences that develop leadership, communication, and teamwork skills. An accomplished scholar and innovative teacher, Adrian integrates current research into her courses and is nationally recognized for advancing public relations education through her publications and professional leadership. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Adrian Wallace on this well-deserved honor. Adrian, before you return to your seat, I want to invite you to the podium for a surprise special presentation.
You don't get to go anywhere. You're going to have to get back there. I'm sorry, it's the rules. It won't hurt, I promise. In 2025, Provost Drake was nominated for the West Michigan Public Relations Society of America Communicator of the Year Award. Though not a public relations professional by title, Dr. Drake's leadership over the last year has exemplified the core tenets of strategic, empathetic, and effective communication amid immense transition and external pressures. Dr. Drake's actions embody what it means to be an exemplary communicator. She leads with integrity, speaks with clarity, and listens with purpose. For these reasons and more, she's a community leader whose communication practices align closely with the roles, and her role lies outside of, even though her role leads outside of professional traditional boundaries. You're not necessarily a PR person, but welcome to the PR family. and that is why Dr. Jennifer Drake is the 2025 West Michigan PRSA Communicator of the Year.
I am trying, people. Critical work. Thank you all. I appreciate you. I really had no idea that was coming. Adrian was standing up here saying, I've got a surprise for you. I'm like, what? I don't know what you mean. Let's see. So this concludes our convocation. Thank you to the members of the Grand Valley Brass Quintet for their beautiful music. Thank you as well to everyone who helped organize this event, including the staff in my office, the Center for Scholarly and Creative Excellence, the Pew Faculty Teaching and Learning Center, and Conference and Event Services. Can we give those folks a big hand? It takes a lot to put this beautiful event on. I'd also like to thank Adrienne Wallace again for her inspiring remarks and the surprise, Etta Bufadel, Christine Renner, and Ryan Otter for introducing our faculty awardees, and our special guests for joining us today. And then a heartfelt thank you to all of you for taking time out of your busy days to be here. I invite you to stay for a celebratory reception out in the Hager Lubbers Exhibition Hall, where we can congratulate our award winners and enjoy conversation with colleagues. Thanks again for being here. Please do enjoy each other. We'll be processing out, and then the audience can follow. Thanks so much.